So Formula One racing is huge again. A lot has to do with the Netflix series Drive to Survive. That has exploded Formula One and its popularity, and it's huge now. But the problem with Formula One, if you want to consider it a problem, it's always been known as the rich person sport, where unless you're rich or got a lot of money or know people, it's hard to go to a race. But you know what? I want to disprove that. I want to go to a Formula One race and see how affordable it actually is. I mean, I'm not going there to set a record and come back with the cheapest tickets or anything like that and in the nosebleeds or anything like that. But I want to see how affordable an actual F1 race can be. So come with me. I've got a pair of tickets. I'm going to break down all the costs, all the pricing and everything, and what it actually costs to go to an F1 race. So, it's early in the morning. It's 4:45 in the morning, and we're getting an early start to the day. We're going to get out there and get on the highway because we've got a 6-hour drive ahead of us. So as you can see, we hit the road quite early in the morning. It was still dark out. We unplugged, got going. We took off about 5 o'clock, but then we had to return because Julie forgot something, as you can see. So by the time we got back on the road, the sun still wasn't up. The roads were nice and empty and everything. We stopped at Tim Hortons just to stay awake. We got a couple teas, and that cost $3.84. And then we kept going all the way to Montreal for our first stop before we stopped for breakfast. Okay, so we're on the road, and I waited till it gets a little bright out because when we left, you saw it was like still dark out. So we're on the road now. We've been on for about an hour, 2 hours maybe, I forget. But anyways, we have one stop to make. We're gonna calculate the cost of that charge and that stop because we're taking the electric car. I guess if you took a regular car, a gas car, it would be, say, double. Let's just, for argument's sake, let's just say double. But what I'm gonna try to do this as, you know, as accurate as I can and as finite as I can. So, you know, people are gonna ask, so what did it cost to fill it up? Because what I did is I charged this up fully to 100% at home, and home charging is a lot cheaper. From 0 to 100 is probably $8. So let's just start with the $8. We haven't had breakfast yet. We're gonna add that up for, you know, the cost of food and stuff like that. And the tickets, I'll tell you right now, the tickets were $400 for a pair. Those were just at cost because I got these tickets from somebody that bought them originally that couldn't use them, and they were telling me they just wanted their money back, and they showed me the receipt. So it's at cost. So they're $200 tickets each. So $400. So we're starting off already with $408. Then we're gonna add all the other incidentals. So I have to admit, the drive was pretty straightforward and pretty smooth. As you can see, hardly anyone on the road. Beautiful morning for a drive. We got to Gananoque, which was our supercharging stop. We stopped there, charged up, and got some breakfast at Tim Hortons, and there's a McDonald's nearby. So altogether, we paid $16.44. So we're all charged up and back on the road. That cost us $26.85. Yeah, supercharging is expensive. Still cheaper than gas. And obviously at home is a lot cheaper. So $26, so it's basically say $27. We're back on the road. We are less than 2 hours away from Montreal, and the trip continues and the costs continue. So once we get there, we have to pay for lunch, then we have to pay for the subway. We're taking the subway there and back, and then the cost that it takes to drive back afterwards. That's about it. So as we kept driving down the 401 towards Quebec, we crossed over into Quebec a short time later, and you know what? It was smooth sailing. The whole entire trip was smooth sailing. We just sat back and relaxed and listened to tunes and podcasts and talking and stuff like that. And you know what? I'll give you a tip. If you're going there and you're going to take the metro, always go to the northern part of Montreal and then take the metro down. It's always better. So we're here in Montreal, and I was lucky to find parking as we take the subway. Parking is right there, and I can charge, so I'll add that up. So in Montreal, the public transit, the subway system, is called the Metro, and we're going to take the Namur subway. We'll add that up too. Hi, can I get 2 tickets. Return, yes, going back. No, for 2. Thank you. Okay, so 2 tickets round trip for me and her. It's $13. So add that to the amount. $13. So you know what? A lot could be said for being in a strange city that you've never been to before and you've never taken the public transit. But the metro was very organized and very good. The crowds, there was a lot of crowds there of people, and the majority of people were race fans, as you can see. They were just piling in, and they piled us on the subway. We were like sardines, literally. So we're here at the Canadian Grand Prix, and it is packed here. I knew it was going to be busy, but I didn't think it was going to be this busy. So as soon as we got off the train, we just followed the mass crowds of people. There was a map there, but we didn't have to follow the map. We just followed the giant crowds of people, and there was a lot of people. There was a record-breaking 345,000 people in attendance over the 3 days. We looked around and got something to eat, and then we made our way to our grandstand, and the staff was very helpful to show us where our seats were. Hi. Thank you. Watch your mud. So we got our seats here, and we're waiting for the race. We just had lunch. We bought lunch here, 2 subs, 6-inch subs, and a bag of chips, $28. Add that to the tally. Yeah, so the food wasn't cheap there, but the good thing is there was a huge selection of food. So we waited in our seats as the vibe kept building up and up and up, and people started filling up the seats in the grandstands, and we got ready for the race. And it was underway, and it was such a good race. First time ever there, great experience. Watching the crowds get excited for all the drivers and all the excitement. The only thing was sometimes some of the spectators went overboard and started poking their heads out of the paper roof, some kind of paper or some kind of plastic roof. And then the race ended about an hour and 40 minutes afterwards. And once again, Max Verstappen wins, I think, his 8th race in a row or something like that. It was incredible. And a cool little thing was they let everyone out on the track. I didn't think they were going to. I know they do in other countries, but they let other people out on the track. And it was a little chaotic at first. People jumping over the fence and going through holes and stuff like that. It was crazy. That's the end of the Montreal Grand Prix, or the F1 race here. Well, how was your first F1 race?
Actually amazing.
Yeah.
It was very exhilarating, exciting.
And while we're doing this, the race is over, it just finished. While we're doing this, let me turn around and show you what's going on the track. It's mayhem. They've opened the track and everyone's walking the track.
I couldn't relax.
So now for dinner we got Wendy's, and that costs us $29.39. So $29.39. Yeah, not healthy, but we're gonna get on the road and go back home.
Did it record anything?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I don't know. So it's good one.
Okay.
So that's our F1 experience in terms of the budget. Let's go back home right now and tally everything up and give the expenses, and we'll go through everything. Now keep in mind, we didn't get a hotel room. This is just all one shot, a straight drive all day. Yes, we can do that from Toronto to Montreal. It's 5 or 6 hour drive. But normally you'd add a hotel expense in there. In this case, we didn't. So, okay. So it's the next day. The excitement's over and everything. So let's tally this up. By the way, just after this tally situation here, if you want to see our personal opinion and like bonus footage of tips and little tricks that we did, we filmed that right while we were driving back home, and I'll put that in right after this. So if you want to see that, it's about another 5 or 6 minutes long after this. You can. If not, the video will end right here. So I've got the whole tally right here. So let's go through it. So like I said at the beginning, just charging up at home was $8 from 0 to 100% on this electric car, it's $8 for energy. Obviously, gas would be more, but let's just say it is what it is. So it's $8. Then we stopped, like just as we got on the road, we stopped at Tim Hortons and got a couple coffees and teas. That was $3.84. The tickets themselves, like I said, they're $200 each, so $400 for the pair tickets. Then when we got to Gananoque, we actually got breakfast, and that was $16.45. Then while we were stopping getting breakfast there, and we were supercharging at the Tesla supercharging network, that cost us, we got there probably, I think we got there like 10 or 15%, and we charged all the way up to 80 or 85 to get to Montreal with enough. So anyways, that was $26.85. So like I said, definitely not as cheap as charging at home, but obviously definitely not as expensive as gas. Got back on the road after that, and then we had a $13 charge when we got there because we had to pay for the subway. And the subway was there and back for two people. That's not bad. Like, I mean, so you're looking at what, $6.50 a round trip per person. So that was that. When we got there, we got lunch, and that was very expensive. 2 6-inch subs and a bag of chips were $28. They were $12 each for the subs, and then $4 for the bag of chips. $4 for a small little bag of chips. Then 29. Then we finished, and we took the subway back with the round trip, and then we got dinner. That's right. We stopped off at Wendy's because we figured, well, let's get dinner before we get back on the road. So we got dinner, and it was just fast food. Like, I mean, we could have stopped in a restaurant and sat down and everything. That would have probably been like, $50 or $60, but we decided to just get something quick, get back on the road because we're getting home so late anyways. So $29.39, and that's just for like 2 combos. So yeah, that's not cheap. Nothing's cheap anymore. And this is part of why I made this video. While we were there, the only thing that was cheap, other than the home charging, was while we were there, we were smart about this. Most people, you would have to pay for parking, or where we were, like I said earlier in the video, go to the north end of Montreal, so you can take the train down and you avoid the whole cluster and the congestion of being downtown Montreal in itself. So we went to the north end. Plus, near the Namur station, there's a mall. There's a mall there. It's like a shopping plaza. So it's free parking. So that's something I researched online. Everyone suggested to do is take the metro, but also park somewhere where it's free and then hop on the metro. It's a Sunday, so most places aren't gonna care that you park there for free, or just park and leave your car for 4 or 5 hours. So that's what we did. But on top of that, I was able to find parking on the side of the street that included charging. Like, you didn't have to pay for parking, and it included charging. Montreal has tons of these. I think Ontario and other provinces and states have to get on board with that. It was great. Montreal is really, and Quebec is really set up for electric cars, in my opinion. So for the 6 hours we were at the race, it was just over 6 hours, because it's $1 per hour charging, and you get 7 kilowatts. So it's a slow charge. It's not like a supercharger. But anyways, not to get too deep inside baseball regarding EVs, that cost me $6.74. So that's a little extra. But the beauty of it is, we didn't just park our car in a parking lot, go over to the subway and take the train and watch the race and come back, and then have to worry about charging up the car, because it just sat there and didn't charge, and it just was, say we got to Montreal with 20% left of battery. It didn't just sit there with 20% and we'd have to charge. It was actually charging while we were at the race. So that's a good thing to have. So we did that, and then we drove all the way back into Ontario, and we stopped off at Kingston Tesla Supercharger, and that was almost the same price as the Gananoque when we were coming, because we needed almost the same amount. That was $26.91 to charge up there. And once again, that was what it is. It's, like I said, more expensive. So we tallied everything up. The grand total, this is what you guys want to hear, the grand total was $559.18. That's exactly what we spent for the entire day. $559.18. I know tickets were even more expensive like that if you're getting them off StubHub or Scalpers and stuff like that. So the whole entire day we had fun, just the two of us, for just over $550, $559.18. This wasn't to be like a competition to see how cheap I can go. I want to see, if we could save a little bit of money, but also how affordable it was for the average person. So I understand not the average person drives an electric car, but the average person can go. So, maybe add another $100 or $200 in terms of gas and stuff like that. So you're looking at anywhere from $600 to $800. That's not bad. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, and I think we experienced a great F1 race and great F1 experience. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you want to watch our opinions and tips and tricks right after this, keep watching. If not, we'll see you on the next one, folks. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, so now you've got all the expenses and everything. We want to talk. I got Julie with me. Julie, I didn't even tell you. Julie came with me. So, this is like we get outdoors, right? It's an outdoor Canuck type of thing.
We were outdoors a lot.
Yeah, we were outdoors. Well, I mean, we
walked a lot.
We were in a car quite a bit because it's 5 or 6 hour drive each way, and now it's a long day. It's really made for a long day. We were up around 4:45, outdoor at 5 a.m., and now it's like 6:45. We probably won't be home till midnight, so it's a lot of driving, but it's fine. It's worth it in our opinion. Like I said in the budget and the tally recap, most times you get a hotel room. We didn't get a hotel room. We have the fortunateness of being in close proximity. Most times you don't, so you'd have to get a hotel room. And traditionally you'd either go for the day, like overnight, and get a room, and then check out and check out the race, and then just drive home maybe, or you're there for the whole weekend. We don't have that.
That will really bring your expenses.
And the prices for these F1 races. I looked into that. I'll be honest with you. I looked into that, and we were thinking of doing that. But we were in Montreal back in February with the family for the weekend.
March.
Yeah. Yeah, it's March 5th. Yeah. And that weekend, that same hotel, I think we paid $250 a night for back in March. Now that hotel room was going, I kid you not, for $1,400 a night. So, and everything, all the hotels, like the only hotel I was able to get when I was going to get a hotel room, and I booked it and I had made sure I had cancellation availability, that was $120, and it wasn't the best, but it was all that was available.
I wouldn't stay there.
And that was like 45 minutes outside the city, outside Montreal. So we decided to go just for the day, and we don't regret it. So what'd you think of your first F1 race?
Very positive experience. I enjoyed it, and I'm not one who watches it.
Yeah. Well,
and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, she's getting into it now.
Now I'm getting into it.
It's an experience. I mean, I've never been to an F1 race either. I've been to IndyCar and a couple other kinds of races, but I've never been to an F1 Formula One race, because here in Canada, it's only in Montreal, and I've never had a chance to come up here. This is the first. It's a different experience altogether. It is.
What did you think?
I was going to say, I loved it. Don't regret anything. I would do it again. The crowd, it was crowded, and I told one of my friends that if you don't like crowds, then don't come here. But it's manageable. It's manageable crowds. We were on the subway packed like sardines at one point coming back, and one of the people that was just happened to be inches from us, because we were all inches apart. You can't help it.
Oh, we're up against each other.
Yeah, if you don't like that, don't go. Yeah. Personal space. There's no such thing as personal space. Like that. You see those videos. I've seen one video in Japan where they push you in and they stuff you into the subway train in Japan.
It was
just like that.
The same thing.
But no, what I was going to say is, someone was commenting, said they've been to other races on the F1 circuit. One of them was one of the newer ones, Austin. And he was commenting saying Montreal is tame and well organized compared to Austin. Now maybe Austin's was like that because it's brand new, but I've heard stories last year, I think it was Monza, where it was complete chaos too. So, you take the good and the bad.
We could get food, we could use the bathroom.
Yeah.
We were good.
But no, it was fun. We'd do it again. You just got to get outdoors, right? That's what we keep harping on this channel and stuff like that. Yeah, it's an experience. There was people there with families, young kids and everything.
Lots of kids.
And strollers and everything, yeah. So it's, and older people, there's somebody that were in the bleachers with us in a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so get out there.
It can be done.
It can be done, experience it. Any advice before we go?
Plan ahead.
Yeah, definitely plan ahead.
Bring snacks and water. we had cushions to sit on?
That's what I was going to say. That's
Okay.
We bought
We bought
cushions.
them.
You know those stadium cushions you can buy, little square things, and like they're like baseball bases. They're foam and they're cushioned. You can even use. I saw some people have their patio furniture cushions. They brought those. They sell them there. They sell them there they were $40.
2 for $80.
2 for $80, so they're $40 each. But you can get them on Amazon, which we did for a lot cheaper. And they're just hard bleachers. If you're in a grandstand, you'll need it. Trust me.
Oh, you bought headphones.
Oh yeah.
Like your noise canceling.
Yeah, noise canceling headphones, not headphones, but earmuffs. Yeah, right. I got those from Amazon too. It wasn't as loud as we thought it was. We didn't need it.
No,
I mean, unless you're really sensitive or you're really up close, we were.
Like kids had them and stuff.
Yeah, but actually, you saw that? I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I did see a few kids.
Okay, you don't need them, but played by ear.
Ah.
Yeah, but we didn't need it, so that was money wasted. So maybe I should have tallied that, the headset, the earmuffs, but I did. Anyways, I just wanted the expense of the trip itself. So yeah, without this getting too long, the only other thing I would say is, yeah, like plan it. Like we planned where to go. Like I researched it. I've never been, so I don't know. Like, do you drive there? Is there parking on the island? I found out no, there isn't. The best way to get around or to get to it is the subway system. Where in Montreal it's called the Metro. In Toronto it's called TTC. But whatever it's called, wherever you are, research it before you go wherever country you're in.
A lot of people on hand organizing the crowd, which I think made a big difference.
Yeah, very safe. Lots of security, lots of police. At the subway station, lots of special constables and information people telling you where to go and stuff like that. So yeah, it was. That's why I said at the beginning it was controlled chaos.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, before this gets too long, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye bye.
Did it record anything?
I don't know. I don't know. So it's true.
Okay.
So that's our F1 experience in terms of the budget. Let's go back home right now and tally everything up.